saying like fuck the whole everything. Fuck a job, fuck wife, everything.
Oh
So
man, I'm just rapping.
You ain't
come
even
on,
heard.
rapping.
But you
No
know,
mixtape, no nothing, no even no hear the bars, no buzz. Straight to the booth album. In
Just
stores.
album
In stores.
immediately.
In stores, in August.
Out now.
You know what's gonna call?
What?
Flame.
Oh, oh my stars. Oh, oh my, oh my, oh my stars.
This the one.
Yeah. Recently my phone been ringing off the hook. Where you been? With the crooks getting money off the book.
What's up, everybody? Another episode of Influenced Opinions. I got two special guests with me, and they wanted to come out and share their influenced opinions with me. And tonight is a different episode. Normally I haven't done this. I wanted to do this in the first season, but it's like one of those things that I really feel near and dear to. We're going to call this episode For the Culture. We're going to be talking about different influences the hip hop / rap artists, people, the whole organization within that whole genre of music has influenced the culture, how they have influenced the culture, different things artists have received within this type of genre of music. And so this is a really deep episode. I think a lot of people will learn some things, or I think a lot of people will be able to relate. And so without further ado, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. And as you can see, I got a somewhat different panel of guests, but we'll let them speak. First, I'm going to start with the lady of the hour. The young lady, go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Carmen Cush. I am the host and creator of my own online sex talk show called Cush and Combo. Tune in on YouTube, KUFH and KOMBO. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
You excited?
I am.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, next thing, young man.
Oh yeah, what's good, everybody? Crush Life King, as usual. Crush Life King. You already know on Instagram. Album in stores now. Check it out on YouTube. Kings and Gods, episodes 1 through 3. Crush Life King.
Crush like king, straight like that.
Straight like that.
You show me your hat. You put
yeah.
it on there.
Look out soon. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, having these hats for you. So look out for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up.
Look out for them. They coming.
All right. So y'all see the guests, and they definitely have some value. It's the only person on this panel that doesn't really have no value is myself, but they definitely hold some weight. We got an artist, and we have a young lady that has her own YouTube channel where she interacts with artists on a daily basis. So, I just wanted to start it off. I mean, first of all, as far as people that have influenced the culture or have really brought something to the culture, I would have to say, without going way back, because we could be here all day. This is one of these topics where it could go on and on and on and on forever. But one of the main influences in this culture, in this game, in this genre of music, I would have to say Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, he brought the rap genre of music to the forefront with Def Jam music. Before it was Russell Simmons, I can't think of anybody else. I mean, there were all types of other um, independent labels. You had a lot of other groups, Sugar Hill Gang, you had Blondie, you had a lot of people that did rap music, but as far as Russell Simmons bringing it to the forefront with Def Jam music, I would have to say he influenced the culture. He brought it to the forefront, you know. Um, from Russell Simmons, I would say that after the whole Def Jam situation, him bringing Run DMC, LL Cool J, all of that, I would just say, as far as on the East Coast level, there's a lot of artists that we can speak about, but people that I think of is your Jay-Z, you know, your Diddy's, your Sean Diddy Combs, your Jay-Z. I think that they hold a lot of value in this genre of music. They brought a lot of different things, not just to the music game, but just to the whole culture itself. But let me know how y'all feel.
I mean, that's all well and good, but
Talk to me.
I mean, no disrespect to them.
Yeah.
Of course, I agree with your opinion as far as those individuals, but you have to, spread it around a little bit. You staying real East Coast with it. You got to think about the rappers who brought influence from the West Coast, from the South, and things like that. And not negate that, because when they came in, when you think of the NWAs or the Dr. Dre's, the Snoops, the Scarfaces, the UGKs, they had major influence in the sound and the direction of, or the tone of music. Because Def Jam, they may have brought it to the forefront, but you think about the tone of the lyrics today, the West Coast, when they brought gangster rap, kind of, I would think, influenced the trap, what they call trap music.
Right.
Because ultimately it's the same content, it's just categorized a different way. They call it gangster rap, they call it trap music.
Right.
So I think that West Coast had a major influence on the culture because it is transcended to now, like I said, it may be called something different, but it's still the same message. It's still the guns, it's still the drugs, it's still the brutality, it's still the things that they see every day in the hood. So I just didn't want to leave them out because you was real.
I wasn't gonna be biased to it. I was gonna go into that, but I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I mean? Because I was gonna speak on those particular individuals and as far as that coast. But of course, I definitely can't leave out the West Coast because, like how you said, it's a valid point. West Coast brought a lot of differences, because when NWA was rapping, they had people crushing up Snoop Doggy Dogg. I know you could probably remember they had the people crushing up their CDs and everything, whereas though on the East Coast they didn't really have to deal with that. They were the ones, if I'm not mistaken, it was them, and if you go down south, we don't want to go to all these different areas so quick, but when you go down south to Miami, you had the Luther Campbells that mixed in with the NWAs. They had the parental advisory, explicit lyrics because of the fact what they were talking about. So I think that with what you said is very, very, very valid. These dudes do bring a lot to it, and anybody who doesn't really understand that, they may not be of the culture, because you should understand that if you're within this culture, if you're promoting this culture, so I definitely get it. I think 100% you on it. What do you think?
So I think one category of influences that kind of gets left out is the world. Like all these different cultures, they gravitate to hip hop, and they all, like, every culture has their own hip hop. You have like Korean rappers, you have You have so like the fact that you have, and then you have people that come over to hip hop from like Akon from Africa, or you have other influences from all over the world.
Right.
That come and
no question. I mean, but I think in that sense, like how you just brought up, I think that's what hip hop has evolved to. Because when you think about it, where it first started out as, it was just the East Coast, the West Coast, then it went down south, and then now, not even now.
Well, not even then went down south because that's the part I'm saying. Like people downplay UGKs in the they were 80s. Like they've been rapping for years. You know, so they never really got the
big break,
or the big record. I mean, like real hip hop heads will recognize them as pioneers or as votes in the game, but like the South now, I mean, at a certain point, I say somewhere in the like mid 2000s, they like really like when Rick Ross and that 808 sound and just like all of that, like it felt like the South had an emergence then, but not really because like
they've been doing
to me, they've been like I'm used to that. I'm used to the UGKs and Scarfaces and Ghetto, all of that. Like that's so I already was influenced by Southern rap, but it's like it never really got the recognition until you got to the Trick Daddies and the Rick Rosses, or I'm trying to think of other where they made it seem like now the South is popping. To me, I feel like the South been popping.
Right. Ludacris. Oh yeah. Ludacris was a big one. Yeah.
But the South was already.
Oh no question.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean I respect that, and that's why I say this is like a big category, and I want all of y'all to understand that.
You know who influenced the culture a lot that people don't realize? They think it's more so just the lyrics. Andre 3000.
He
made being real weird.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Right.
And now we got Lil Xans and Lil Pumps out here and Tekashi with colorful hair, and you know what I'm saying?
Very true.
That wouldn't, if it wasn't for
Andre 3000, yeah. And I remember when he first came out, I was like, what the? And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, because they weren't used to that, they were used to a certain style, certain sound.
Yeah.
And so, I get it. I mean, when we talk about down south, though, I would have to give a lot of credit to Jay Prince. You know what I mean? Because Jay Prince, he was the forefather of all of the Scarfaces, the Yuck Mouths, you know what I mean, the G to a Key,
right?
You know what I mean? And see, a lot of people probably looking like, who are these people that they talking about, or how they hip to that? But it's like, if they really are of the culture, they know about this stuff.
But that's the problem. First of all, I have a problem with for the culture of the culture. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I'm woke or stay woke. It's like it's become sloganish versus literal, meaning if you're woke, you're woke. You know what I mean? It's like now people just saying stay woke or I'm woke or you like because it's cool. It's the new fad to say. It's like, it's the hip thing. And so for the culture, like if you're about the culture, then none of what we're saying should sound foreign.
Right.
To a young person, to an older person, because you are about the culture. You know who these people are. You have, even if you don't know everyone, you've heard a name like, oh yeah, I know who that is, but now you should want to research the ones you don't know. Because you're about the culture. But that's not what people are. It just sounds cool.
Yeah.
It just sounds cool. So I get really agitated with that for the culture shit because then when you start talking about shit and they're looking at you like you're crazy, you're like, well, what part of the culture are you?
Yeah.
Because the culture's the culture. There's no time frame. It's history.
Right.
You learn about slavery. You learn about it's like either you're gonna know about your shit or you're not.
Right.
So all of these artists that are like, especially new age or new like coming in the game, like. They're so disrespectful. They disrespect the people who've come before them. They have it's like, they the old heads. But if it wasn't for them, it'd be no you.
Yeah, no question.
Like you gotta have some respect. At some point, you have to have some respect for the people who paved the way for you to even be doing the bullshit rap that you're doing. So we'll get to that.
Right, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Hey, It's gonna be a fun night, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all just make sure y'all keep tuned in because just stay tuned in. Cause yeah, it's gonna be a good night. But yeah, I mean, I respect everything that you said. I mean, it is wild, because if you are about the culture, you would understand it. You would do your research on it. You would know.
And you would respect it.
Yeah, no question. You would.
There's a lot of disrespect.
Yeah, no question.
On both sides, because I feel like some of the old heads or the older generation don't respect the younger generation. What they have to understand is as music evolved, there was disrespect for every generation that came prior. So when rap first came along, the people who before rap was like, what is this riffraff? Like, we're used to R&B, soul, jazz, this, that. Like, they didn't have an understanding of hip-hop at all, even in the party form. Right. And then when it went from the party form to gangster rap, it was like, wait, what is this? Like, and then once we got smoothed over with that, then it became something else. And it's like every generation has a little standoffish, but somehow it's able to be kind of coaxed over, or like we get into it. And then now it's like at a stage, it's like a battle. It's like a line. It's either you on this side and you with all the hip hop that came before this era, right, or you're on this side.
People
and there's
people don't realize that the call.
Right,
this conversation's on fire. It's lighting up. We about to set the building on fire.
But yeah, people don't realize that. Damn, what the hell was I about to say?
You don't even realize what you want to say.
Trick kick there. What were we just talking about?
Well, I was saying it's like a division in hip hop.
Yeah. People don't realize that the culture or whatever, hip hop is always owned and operated by the youth.
Right.
And like the older generation gets mad that it's not going their way anymore. But it's not yours. It's not yours. It's the youth. It's always the younger generation that they mold the next wave of evolution.
Right.
Yeah, and it's good music on both sides. It's good old music. It's good new music. So yeah, I agree with you.
Right, you just gotta find where you fit in. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I enjoy everything that's new. I give it a chance. I try to give it a listen and see, and some things jump out at me, and I'm like, okay, I can fuck with that. Like, I like the beat, or I like the hook, or I like the whole concept, or whatever the case may be. And some things I'm like, it's not my style, but I'm not going to just discredit or just I can't do that. Right, dismiss it and say I can't do it because it has a different way from what I'm used to.
Right.
You got to remember, we was going through a lot. Coming up, we went through a lot.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? They're not. I mean, they're not going through as much as we are. As we did.
Right.
If you look at the statistics, like the crime stats and all the other stats, they're not going through quite as much as we did. So the realness of the music and the
authenticity, all that.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have that as much. I mean, of course they do have.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing because I seen this on Instagram, and I don't want it to go too far into this, but I seen it on Instagram. It was funny because all of us are pretty much in the same era, I believe, and my thing is that y'all could probably relate. I seen on somebody's Instagram post that they were saying that when I was going to school, everybody wanted to be like the man that was hustling. And it's like nowadays it seems like everybody wants to be that person who's the addict. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because I know when I was in school, everybody wanted to be about getting money. And everybody wanted to be that person that was making that money, hustling, whatever. And it's like now it seems like everybody just want to be an addict, like taking this, popping pills, doing that.
You make these kids watch New Jack City.
Yeah, I mean, real talk.
I mean, what's strange to me is they're not, unfortunately, they're not doing their research.
Right.
If they understood that the drugs that they are consuming is equivalent to shooting up heroin, I don't think as many. I'm not going to say that none of them would. I don't think as many would have taken it to begin with. Now they're fully strung out. It's
fucking too late. They want to go to like a methadone clinic to get the fuck off of what they're on. But had they known prior, I really do believe, had they honestly known prior to taking that first opioid, then they wouldn't have done it. I don't think they would have been on the lean as hard. I don't think they would have been popping Xans and perks and all these things because they would have been like, wait, that's what?
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, whatever. I couldn't convince them otherwise. If I told them they were like shooting up heroin, whatever.
Yeah, right. But I mean, at the same time, it's a new wave, though. So I don't think.
So the new wave is to be a dope fiend.
I mean, that's what it seemed like. So I don't.
But that's what I feel like. If they knew, I don't think they knew. I know some did. That's why I said it's some that would have did it regardless.
Right.
Because I don't feel like they had the needle in their arm. But it's the ones who did not know, like who probably found out now, like damn.
What I did was right. Yeah.
Right, and now it's too late. Now you're itching, like you're
geeking. Yeah. You need it. You need that fix.
You're nodding out, son.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but the reality behind it is that I think a lot of them still would have did it because I think they're at a rebellious state and they feel as though they want to let people know that this is me and I'm gonna do me.
And you can't really rebel and smoke weed no more because it's like just about legal.
Yeah. Smoke weed is
not like the bad thing anymore.
Yeah, back in the day, smoking weed, they crushed CDs over that. The Chronic. Y'all remember that? They did all of that. There was like
far the most classic shit.
Classic album, The Chronic. You know what I mean? They didn't want. They didn't accept that. They was like, oh nah, they talking about smoking weed, woo. They don't want to deal with that. That's why it's just funny, just like just having this conversation because you think about. And I'm pretty sure all of us can relate. Like you think about your parents when they told you certain things, like they may have witnessed or they may have experienced, and it's like you come to them and tell them, "Wow, I seen that." They're like, "I already told you." It's the same thing with this situation right now. Like we seen all of that. We seen the whole cannabis reactions where people didn't accept it. And then now it's legalized in certain places to a certain extent. It's not all the way, but to a certain extent, where we look at how the rap culture was at one point in time and then we look at it for what it is now. And it's like, okay, we're not going to knock anybody, but what we will say is that it's totally different from what we came up on.
Right.
And it's like, are we going to get to that level and elevate to a level where it'll be somewhat I guess it'll be somewhat complex, I guess. Like
maybe it's now. You still
to
have
a certain extent.
You still have
very true.
So it's still a fair balance of
very true.
raw hip hop and then the fun shit. I guess you get in where you fit in. I just feel like a lot of the fun shit is influential to death, but not ours was influential to death, but death by violence. And I will have to admit that for our generation of death rap. But theirs is death by overdose.
It's more suicide.
Like if you say it's death by overdose, it's like more people are dying from drug situations than it was where in our day you might have got shot or some shit or something like that. It's like now the rappers are dying from drugs, from like ODs and stuff like that. So it's like, okay,
what's going on here?
Whose death is going to be the one to say, you know what?
Let me fall back.
We got to stop this shit. How many seizures is Lil Wayne or Rick Ross, certain people going to have until it becomes like, okay, something
ain't right with this.
I might not need to do this.
Right.
Or I need to slow down. Or I need to cut out. Maybe I just need to do perks, not perks, Xan, Molly, like every drug that somebody gives me. Like,
right.
And drugs have always been,
they've always been around.
Yeah, they've been around.
Yeah. They've always been around. You know what I mean?
And I think, and I don't want to say like we didn't do drugs. I just feel like we didn't show it as much. I'm sure it was being done. It just wasn't in in the forefront where it's so visible and so like in your face.
Right.
It was like people were doing it behind the scenes and you hear about it, you're like, they doing what at these parties? Or they're doing now it's like you see it. It's on the gram, it's on Snapchat, it's exactly. It's in the music, in the videos, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's a norm nowadays. So I don't know, man. It's wild, but I mean, that's how the game has evolved in that direction as well. It's funny how you stated that because I think about how the culture or the hip hop rap culture or rap music has been portrayed to the people. I remember when we were coming up. And it was only so many like networks that actually put the music out there to the people. Yeah. Right now, a lot of kids today, they don't understand. They see it's like so many different outlets now. You got Revolt TV, you got I don't know, it's so many different lanes now. But anybody that knows it, the way how this started, you only had MTV, VH1. Was BET even out?
They had video sold. They had they didn't show it as much as like an MTV or VH1, but BET had video programming at that time.
Right.
They had
But before all of that, I think before all of that, the people who actually brought it to the point where VH1, BET, and all of that would. Maybe not BET, but VH1, MTV, the station that would allow them to play their videos would be the jukebox, and like how I say that, yeah, classic, right? And so just so people will understand.
My ass beat a lot.
Oh well, no, go ahead and let the people know.
You call in,
because a lot of people don't
order
understand.
videos.
Right.
And it was like one for like $3 and like three for like 15 or some shit. And like you call it like they have like this little like list of numbers. You see the little video, you see the name in the video, you see the number, you call it, you type the number in, and eventually they'll get around to playing your video because they had to play, in the order that it was called in. So man, like I would just be calling, trying to get like Bone Thugs and Harmony and fucking Luke and what was my man's name? I like big butts with the cat. Oh my god! Like
you like that song?
Yo, those videos was the shit back in the day. I'm telling you, yo, like and
so
you would
what
watch.
Kind of shirt you got on? That's so much like put on the glass type joint. Yeah, like she said
on the glass.
Yeah.
Yes, like I'm telling you, videos were lit back then when you.
Oh no question, because they didn't censor anything, especially on the jukebox. They didn't censor nothing.
No.
So y'all do your research on the jukebox, all y'all viewers. But it's funny because the jukebox set the tone for the VH1s, the MTVs, and all that. Because MTV, a lot of y'all might not know, MTV, they didn't play rap music back in the day.
No, it wasn't until they got like Yo MTV raps and shit like that.
Right.
But yeah, it was rock and roll.
No question. And so, like, if we recall correctly, I'm trying to figure out how we can fit fact into this. I don't know it per se, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it was Fab Five Freddy first, and then Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, or was it vice versa?
I think it was Fab Five and then Dr. Dre.
Yeah, Lover. Okay, all right, but yeah, so that's how the whole Yo MTV raps came about. But all of that, like how we said, all of that stemmed from the jukebox. The jukebox, no cut cards. It was like. Whatever you wanted,
channel ever.
Yeah, if you wanted the raunchiest, if you wanted the hood joint, if you wanted to see drugs, if you wanted to see guns,
every video that was made between whenever that was aired on there, like the shit was.
Yeah. It was so raw, straight raw. So you had that, and then you went into the whole.
I ain't have cable.
Oh yeah, okay. So you ain't know it. I know I was never allowed to order no videos.
I watched it when I went over somebody's house.
Right. Well, I know one thing. I definitely wasn't able to order no videos.
I wasn't supposed to be.
She wasn't supposed to be.
That bill came, I was getting my ass torn down, but I had to see my suckers running phone.
Oh my God. Hey, that's all we used to talk about. We used to be like, damn, man, this is the best joint ever. Because you ain't got to pay. And you get to see somebody at the bottom just
and you get so excited you don't eventually even come on. You just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
If you just keep seeing it come on, you're like, yes, they're gonna play it over and over. It's like, I need to bring that back. Like, I need to talk to whoever I need to talk to get that back.
Maybe we can make our own joint. Influence the Pins, fucking.
That would be lit.
You know, we're gonna make our own lit. Watch out for that. But yeah, now that's funny because all right, you had the different outlets. In a way, it's funny because I was telling a lot of people that I looked at the whole MTV, VH1, the whole Viacom situation altogether. Back then, I don't know if it was all branched Viacom. As we know, as time has changed now, Viacom owns BET, VH1, MTV, and there might be a couple of other entities as well. But to me, I mean, I would have to say that those particular entities, other than BET, are somewhat culture vultures because, like we just touched on, they didn't really support the movement of the whole hip-hop rap element. You know, they were more so looking at it like, we can't really be involved. At the same time, it's a little too much.
Right.
But once they seen that they could market off of that, then they play it.
It's money.
You know,
it's
definitely.
Money. It always comes back to the money. It's never about the culture.
Right.
So, like, absolutely. When they saw that, there's a way that we can
monetize off of this,
then why would they miss out on that money?
I mean, that's everybody.
That's true.
ESPN did it. McDonald's did it. Everybody.
But hold on.
Took a piece of hip-hop.
Hold on. See, since you brought that up, I want people to understand. Like, what did these people do? Like how you said, McDonald's did it. ESPN did it. A lot of people don't understand. They've never seen this. Like how I said, with the old MTV, VH1. I would explain it like VH1, MTV, they didn't particularly want to deal with the culture because at the time,
you know what? I feel like once BET started to really do their like video, and they saw that it can be done, and it can be done in a way where we can make money, and then two, it doesn't come off like really like crash, because this was doing like they started doing it around the time when like the NWAs was popping, because I remember when Fab Five Freddy interviewed Dr. Dre and all of them saying, it's like they had to figure out how can we do it, but they had to see somebody else do it first. And although the box was there, they still needed to see how they can bring that to their channel and not lose their, sponsorships and stuff like that. So I think once they saw, they kind of piggybacked off of BET. I think once they saw that Donnie Simpson and them had like Video Soul and they could interview people and have artists on there and it goes well, we could do that too. We just gotta get a black person we can
Yeah, and be right in the hood with them. Yeah, because I remember that. I remember when it was in the hood and they was on the pickup truck and Eazy, and I think if I'm not mistaken, that was the same interview. Eazy had the rifle with the scope, you know what I mean? And he was telling them, like, yeah, this.
And everybody wasn't ready for that.
Nah,
like, they was probably like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh my God, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, it went well, Eric, but this shit's gotta stop. Like, dude, we gotta get this shit under control. Like that, I mean, like seriously, they would have never, but it went well, so they went with it. Right. And they were probably pissing their fucking pants.
Oh, no question.
Who's that McDonald's sponsorship? What the fuck? No. We can't have this shit,
Hey.
Tom.
Hey,
Tom.
hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all remember who y'all listening to? She is the best. She is the best on
I'm
everything.
just saying,
Yeah,
yo, like
nah,
they
of course.
some fucking like
Yeah, no question. I mean, to me, like, I don't know if y'all would say it, but I'll say it. They were culture vultures. They utilize the situation to monetize off of it. Basically, at the end of the day, they didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And once they seen that they could generate some revenue off of it, they were with it. So. It's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of people that's over here that's like that today. But it's one of those things where I just want the people, if they are new and upcoming in this game and they want to be involved, understand how this game is evolved and where it used to be at, and so understand how these people really view you. Right. So be about your business.
Right.
Have an understanding of what it is that you need to do, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure all of us can agree with it. They don't really care nothing about you. I mean, and you shouldn't look down on them for not caring about you, but you just got to be about your business. That's
chess,
simple as
not
that.
checkers.
Yeah, it definitely is chess.
Move across that board the right way. Like, point blank, as long as you're well informed, which is what part of this conversation is to help you be.
Right.
And like he said, they don't really care, they don't fuck with you. Then you strategically move across that chessboard until you get what you're supposed to get.
Right. No question.
You ain't making no money then. If you ain't making no money, they don't want to hear it. And I mean, that's the way most things are, though.
Right.
If you're not.
I mean, because if you look at the record labels back in the day versus how they are now, back then they rolled out a whole campaign for a person that they felt like they could believe in that would bring them money. Now that you have to show them that you can bring them money. You have to show them that you have the following, you can get the streams, you can, get the views, you can get the likes, so it's completely different. The game has completely changed, and they showing you flat out they don't give a fuck about you. Back then, they throw all this money at you if you didn't help recoup it. Then they show you they didn't give a fuck about you. They kick you out on your ass, pull your contract back, whatever the case may be. But now it's like you got to jump through fiery hoops for them to even take a look at you to give you anything.
Right.
So they were flat out saying, "Look, nigga."
Yeah.
Tap dance and let us see if you can do that. Before they was like, we hope he can tap dance. We'll throw some money because he looked like he can tap dance. Now you gotta tap dance. You gotta. Right. You gotta get out there and show people what you got. And if you can't, then Flash is gonna take your spot, and he can't. Okay.
Look. No, stop it, man. Nah, that's too funny, right? But since you brought that up, it's funny because the next thing that I would talk about is because it goes into what you were just talking about. You got your Master P's, where your Master P, he didn't just want to work directly for the labels. He wanted to come in with his own entity, right? And I understand Diddy did the same thing with his whole Bad Boy Records, but
Suge Knight.
It's Suge Knight, Death Row Records. It's a lot of different
out
people.
The West Coast.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to leave on the West Coast. You didn't speak about Mac Dre, but this whole hyphen movement though. But yeah, shout out to Mac Dre, Oakland, the Bay Area. The hyphen movement.
Don't try to. You see how you trying to. No, but that's okay. I see what you did there.
But so the whole time it's it's wild because Master P came out here and he had his artists or whatever, and you know what? I don't even want to go too far off the tangent. The thing about it is that I just read something the other day and it was so deep, and I'm pretty sure y'all might have came across it or y'all might have heard it. I don't know, in time or whatever. But Master P, he went to go, shop his stuff to Interscope, And when he went to Interscope offered him $1 million.
And he
Right?
said if he could get $1 million from them, imagine what, yeah.
There you go. And so he turned that down.
Yeah.
Now the average person, they get offered $1 million. They're taking it.
Right.
They're taking it. The average person is not going to walk away from that. And so I have to give that dude nothing but the utmost respect because he was able to walk away from $1 million. Like,
But he was schooled by Jay Prince.
no question. Yeah, he was.
Rapper not
And he called him
set the
Lil J and
precedent
all that. Yeah.
before
Right.
any of them.
Any of them that came through.
Yeah.
Right, no question. And they're going to love you for that because they're going to be like, damn, this chick know about her history. You know what I mean? Nah, this is deep though.
I love music.
Nah, no question, no. But see, that's the thing, man, because a lot of people, it's not going like that for them. They I offer you this, you gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah,
A lot
no
of people are
question.
selling their souls for nothing.
Yeah, 100,000. Maybe I ain't gonna say 10,000, but maybe 50, 60,000 they might go. You know what I mean? And so it's just deep. It's like, wow, how did y'all get to that point? You know, you give up everything.
It's still a lot of people that's mad independent though, and I respect that. I respect the ones that are holding out, that know their worth, that know that they can do this without any type of backing or label, that, you know, they believe in themselves enough to invest in themselves and to really push their own brand. I fuck with that. Because these labels will really whore you out at this point because they feel like you need them. And I don't know why, because like I said, you have to damn near prove yourself to get a label to look at you. So really, we don't need you. Like, we're doing everything. We're getting our own shows. We're going on tour. We're, getting our visuals. We're doing like, what the fuck could you give me but possibly a distribution deal? But really, I've been distributing my shit on my own. So, I've been getting my shit on iTunes
Yeah,
Right.
who the fuck needs
by the
y'all?
time you prove yourself, you're good.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Like, what could you? And
Yeah,
I would go in the
yeah.
meeting with the attitude of, what the fuck could you give me?
Right.
Because, like, my whole portfolio speaks for itself. Why you taking this meeting? Because you wouldn't take it if I didn't have shit to bring to you.
Right.
So, like, where's the dancing monkeys and the motherfucking, like, confetti and shit? Like, what you got? You tap dance, bitch.
Hey, this is why I have this young lady on here. She is the best. She's the best. She's the best.
Like, I don't have a mixtape, but if I was, like, popping like that in the streets, like, these labels would have to, like, tap dance for me because what I know they're expecting you to bring to the table for them to even talk to you, dog, fuck you.
Right. Straight like that. And I think more people need to just come with it like that. You know what I mean?
it's a lot of independent artists.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's
And
definitely
yeah, that's a good look though, as far as retaining your money in the early stages or whatever, for real. Retaining your money. I mean, the Prince, you know what I'm saying? Prince did it. And Jay Prince. So yeah, that's the way to go. That's the best way to go. I mean, that's the best way to go with everything. Everything right now. I mean, entrepreneurship is the shit right now. That's the way. I mean, not just right now, but it should have been the way a long time ago. But only a few people was on that way.
But people are disciplined to do it and all of that stuff. That's what it comes down to. Everything sounds good. And I think it's good that people should run their own conglomerates, their own organizations, but the average person don't want to go through that work. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's hard. You know?
That's what separates the
man
successful
from the boy
people and the people that's not.
Oh, no question.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's not that they don't want to, but if you look at the examples, well, not all of the examples, just one in particular, like the whole Cash Money situation, Miss Lil Wayne, but like, you gotta
choose your words wisely.
I know. That's why you see me keep stopping now.
You're a good podcaster. You're a good YouTuber. You know.
I'm trying to be particular and say this correctly, but I would want my people to start their own labels only if it's not even so much that they wouldn't do the work, but if they, let's say they did the work, they had the money, they had the back. Look at the situation that they're in. That somebody that started a label, brought his men in or his boys or whatever, they all came up from the dirt together, and now they're embroiled in the, well, it's over. But they were embroiled in a situation where this man couldn't even release his album. He, you know, and it shouldn't even have been that way. This is that was damn near family. This wasn't even just like a label situation and the artist and he's battling with his label. I mean, ultimately that's what it was, but it was family. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if they weren't lazy and they could do it, like if they did it and then it went that way, like how does one deal with that? Like how, that was a fucked up situation.
Oh, no question. No question. It really was. And I don't know how to explain it because I don't think fucked up. You know what I mean? If I thought like in a fucked up way, then I probably could give you an answer. But I can't. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Well, you give me a look.
I didn't give you a look.
You give me a look like.
I didn't give you a look. Nigga, stop being sensitive.
Oh, she called me sensitive, ladies and gentlemen. Hey,
look.
Hey,
she gave me a look. Did I give him a look? I need y'all to comment and say, at this marker or this minute point, you did give him a look. Look at the look. There's no look.
Hey, as y'all can see, this ain't rehearsed. Y'all see, this is why I love this young lady. She's the best. You know, I'm glad that she came out here. But all right, so we talked about the organizations. I mean, well, hold on. I'm gonna talk. Let me bring one more thing up.
Hey, what's good, Mo? Influencer fans, this is Crush Life King. You know what I'm saying? You like the video, go ahead, subscribe, share it with your friends, follow everybody you see. You know what I'm saying? Keep the movement moving. And hey,
I done hit some nice bug, got a buzz on me.
I had this issue where a lot of people show a lot of love to Nike. And a lot of people don't understand that at one point in time, Nike had nothing to do with the culture. Same thing as MTV, same thing with Nike. Nike made a statement and they said that they would never do a shoe with a rapper or artist of this genre. You know, and I just think it's funny because at the same time when that happened, you had Jay-Z and 50 Cent. They did their shoes with Reebok and they did magnificent numbers. And afterwards, I mean, you had multiple people that did different deals, shoes or whatever, right?
At some point, Rick Ross had an alignment with Reebok, I believe, but something fell through with that. I don't remember what the situation was, but he was supposed to have a deal with them, and then just Birdman lugs.
Birdman lugs.
Master P had the Converse, and I don't know, Trey Torrance, Andre 3000, you saying his new little line?
And then Pharrell with Adidas.
Adidas, right.
Kanye with Adidas.
Oh, yeah. But then Kanye, if I'm not mistaken,
he was with,
he had the old school Back to the Future.
The Marty McFly.
Which are Nike, right?
I don't know. I didn't get.
If I'm not mistaken, he had that little deal with them.
I do remember the Marty, but I don't know what they were.
But the brand it was. Right. Yeah, the brand was Nike. Yeah. Wow. And so that's why it's funny because a lot of people need to understand that, you know, because that was the same company that said they would never do business.
Well, they knew Yeezy would want to make America great again. So.
You got that hat? Okay. We're gonna get you an influencer.
I don't need a
MAGA. I want to get one of them hats.
Well,
I mean, not because I
like make America great again.
Yeah.
But if you get one, it is gonna be supported.
I get like a fake one.
But
so it's not going to that real source. Or I make well like write it. So I'm like I don't want to support. I like more like for a prop. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to do something.
Right. You making America great.
Because you know.
True. Well, I mean, yeah, we're just having fun.
Well, because I be doing I'm also an actor. I'll be doing the comedy videos.
Oh, the
skits. I'll be doing the skits.
Okay. All right, you can pass.
So yeah, that's why I want the hat.
Alright, so-
I got the Donald Trump mask. I mean,
Yes, he's really into it. Yes, he's really
so
into it.
yeah, I want. I mean, don't support the movement. I'm not like Kanye has the hat. Not that type. I want the hat like that.
Okay.
So I can support him because we're brothers.
Right.
We're both dragons. No, I'm not a dragon. I'm not a dragon.
Right.
I'm a regular nigga.
Right.
I like to make fun of niggas.
Right. No, I get it. No, I get it. And so I just wanted to put it out there to the people so they can just understand. A lot of these people don't really know how the culture has evolved and where it came from and the different companies that might not have wanted to do business, but then later on they said, wow, this would be beneficial, so we do want to do business. So this is one of those things. And, I know a lot of these different rap personalities have brought a lot to the game and made a lot of different companies enormous amounts of money. So yeah, it's just one of those big things where people just need to realize, like, if you're a becoming artist, understand that these companies will definitely use you. And they'll definitely make their money off of you.
Make sure you make it good for you though.
Yeah.
Make sure you make it work for you more so than them because they're gonna get theirs.
Oh, no question. They're definitely gonna get
theirs. They're gonna get theirs on the back end, the front end, whatever.
Everything.
So you make sure you get yours too.
Oh yeah. No question. And so, I guess it's like two more things that I just wanted to speak on. The main two things is basically where the game has evolved to now. That as far as the accolades, as far as the awards, it's a lot of different artists that have been receiving different things. Whereas though back in the day, I mean, it was unheard of. I want to speak on that, and then afterwards, to sum all of this up, I want to get into the point of, since we're in the DMV area, how or what will it take for DMV artists to break into this mainstream setting? So. All right, but basically, let's go back to this accolades, awards. I know one of the things that I can speak on is I happen to be watching public access TV. I guess it was Public Broadcasting System (PBS), and they had Nas on there, and he's rapping the Illmatic album at the Kennedy Center. And for those of you that don't know, the Kennedy Center is like a very prestigious venue. Yes.
Symphony, orchestra, ballet, almost maybe Carnegie Hall-esque type of situation.
Right.
You wouldn't imagine a rap situation really at Carnegie Hall or something like if those people know what Carnegie Hall is. So,
right.
If you know what Carnegie Hall is, then you should know what the Kennedy Center is.
Right.
Yeah, so it is like that was amazing. That's phenomenal. But he's the type of artist that can transcend that line and be able to go in there and do that because it was with, I believe, an orchestra.
Oh, no question.
Type of setting. I didn't get to see it, but yeah, so. And that album would, I'm sure, play beautifully over with an orchestra. So I'm sure that was an exceptional performance. Like,
no, it was. It definitely was. But it was just different.
Absolutely. Who would think that hip hop would make it to the Kennedy Center?
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a crossover moment almost.
Yeah.
He did it with the orchestra though.
The orchestra was playing.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
dope.
Super dope. Yeah. You know, nobody would have ever thought that.
I could see like Kendrick or somebody maybe being able to get into there and do that maybe in some lifetime, or a Jay-Z.
Right.
I could see him going in there and doing like I couldn't imagine Migos like when they walking like I talking.
Now you gotta give them time. I think
Aubrey might make it in there.
I think give Migos if they keep doing what
they gotta get a little bit more polished. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe you know what I'm not gonna say it. I can see that because they've already with the Fashion Nova blouses that they wear, it really they could do that, and so I can see that.
Right.
Use their code.
Blouses. All they need
30% off.
All they need is a couple songs. A feature with SZA or something. A couple songs.
Oh, with them? Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
They have the wardrobe already.
They do. They definitely do. They have the swag as well.
They do.
You know, I think they could really put it.
I just don't know. Yeah.
They probably wanted Migos and it was like we got Nas though.
Bye.
We got Nas.
Terrible. But nah, so I mean, okay, we had Nas do his thing, and then we had Kendrick Lamar. He got the Pulitzer Prize, right? You know, I think that's super dope because from what everybody was saying, it's never been in any other class other than, I believe, jazz and something else, some other genre, you know. And so I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking deep, you know. That's pretty dope.
Especially for him to be like not super new, but new artist in the game.
Right, and just to get it off of what? Second album?
Yeah,
second album, right? Damn. Yeah.
That's interesting to see how the whole culture, the culture just got like all the eyes.
Right.
It's like seeing like as it evolves, it's like more eyes
are watching.
Taking notice.
I mean, but
because I don't even know who the Pulitzer Prize people are. Like who picks?
Well, because they don't have nothing to do with this culture.
Yeah, but like who picks? Who are they? Is it like a Pulitzer group? I don't know how that works. Like, no,
but
like
it's the way you said it.
Now with the Academy Awards, there's an
Academy. I get nothing to say. Right, it was just funny. I just said it.
Nah, but I think anybody
Greg Pulitzer
could respect what you're saying. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know who decided.
Yeah, I don't know who decided.
So that's interesting to know that those eyes that I don't even know who the eyes
are watching,
are also taking note.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, because nowadays,
when did they start? Because
yeah.
No, I say that because, like I said, it was people before him that I'm like, well, I'm like, damn, right? What's the criteria?
Right.
How was his way more? And I'm not knocking it because it was great. You deserve it, but I just want to know what is the
criteria? Right.
What we checking off here?
Right. What made him stand out compared to other people? Yeah. Jay-Z, he got a Writers Award though, right? Come on, I know y'all got it.
No, I didn't.
Oh man, Jay-Z, this was probably like this is 2018. This may have been in 2017, I think. I think he got a Writers Award.
I think I do remember that. I'm a little high, so you just gotta, I'm trying to, but it does, now that you're saying that.
Right now?
I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Put it in the link.
Okay, yeah. We'll put it in the link.
The award.
Or anybody who knows and thinks that we're like terrible for not knowing. Scroll down to the comments. Write it in the comment.
Yeah, I vaguely something about that sounds rather familiar.
But Kendrick doing the soundtrack for Black Panther was big too, because Black Panther.
And then Future just did Superfly.
Yeah, very true.
So yeah, that is.
It's a lot of things that a lot of us, well, not a lot of us, but for the culture, they are doing things where back in the day, a lot of this stuff wasn't happening. They're doing scores
then
for music.
again, no, because if you think about it, like Boomerang, it was all Babyface had the whole thing. So
Babyface is not of the culture. He is of the culture to a certain extent, but
not hip hop, right? Of hip hop. But I'm just saying, like all black, like
right.
you know.
I got you.
I didn't want them to think that. I wanted them to know that we've been in as an all black. Well, no, because Above the Rim.
Oh, yeah.
You had Death Row had
Death
the
Row
whole.
was in charge of that.
Yeah, it had the whole soundtrack.
TDE was in charge.
And then Menace to Society
was black, right? About
but
it,
that
right?
was
I'm about it. And what was it called? I'm about it. What was the movie called? I'm about it.
I'm about
it.
Yeah, the soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack. But I mean, come on, that was
like real movies, like in the movies. So I got the, I got the hookup.
I got the. We love Master P. Shout out Master P. Yeah, shout out New Orleans. But it's like, come on.
But yeah, so I do remember Above the Rim.
It was
an all black rap hip hop one.
Very true.
So.
Very true. I mean, there's other.
So yeah, it's been. I mean. Like we said, it's evolved.
But it's more prevalent now. It's happening more repetitiously, I guess, more because those movies are kind of back to back for that to be the soundtracks to be ran by soul hip hop.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things.
I think the big studios, the companies, everything we've named so far, we more so realize that it's not like a limit to what we can do.
Right, no question. It's no limit.
No.
Yeah, it's no limit to what we can do.
Free murder.
Free murder.
Like for real.
Yeah, but it's like all right. So we touched on that, and now the biggest thing. We're in the DMV area. Kingston, Crush Life Kingston. You are a DMV artist, Miss Kush. You are a personality that interviews DMV artists. So I'm trying to figure out what will it take for DMV artists to cross over to their mainstream life or mainstream set, you know. I know both of y'all can probably give good influenced opinions on that.
I'll let the artist go first because I can't speak on. I can only speak as a spectator.
Right.
All right. So, what the question is? What will it take? No. Ask the question again because I need.
What do you think it would take for the DMV artists to break through on mainstream level?
Okay, so the question you're asking is the DMV artist singular or nah? DMV artists as the group of like everybody that's from the DMV.
Yeah, everybody's
like
from
the whole DMV.
Yeah, I would say for the
what's gonna take?
Yeah,
it's gonna take the whole DMV. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna take. It's gonna take them all. Like if you look at like New York. When they blew up, if you look at like talk to and look or watch one of the interviews, Drink Champs or whatever, all these people knew each other, all these people were involved with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you look at or you talk to like I was looking at an interview, what was it? Charlamagne the Guy, it was the Breakfast Club, yeah, with CeeLo. And he was talking about how a lot of people don't know that Future started off in the Dungeon family. Like it's pretty like in Atlanta, same thing as New York. Like everybody is working together, or even if they're not working together, they still supporting each other in one way or another. And yeah, the West too. I'm my bad leaving out the West too.
Right.
It's trending.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
It's the theme.
My bad.
It's the theme.
Right.
But yeah, the West too, same thing. Like, and that's what it's gonna take. And
so basically, what you're saying is that in order for them to break through, the artists need to be together,
Unify.
Unity. That's the same answer I would give you if you asked me what it would take for like the black community to get over whatever hump we think we need to get over. Like unity is, I mean, yeah.
Okay, I got you. How you feel?
I would have to piggyback on that. I wholeheartedly agree. We don't have any type of united front. Everybody, it's a lot of separation, it's a lot of ego, which I don't understand because we're all still here. You know, I see you out. We're all in the same clubs, smoking the same hookah. I mean, I don't know. So I really don't fucking understand, like, what the fuck is the ego? Like, we're all doing the same shows. We're all like, it just, I mean, yeah, you might be in LA one day, but you are back here. Like, you haven't solidified yourself to be that now you're exclusively in LA. We can't catch up to you. You're just like on the move. You're in Europe. You're like, until that level of success is starting to happen for you, then, buddy, please just bring it down. Work with other artists, work with network, work with other people, be approachable. You know, let a person come and talk to you and not feel like, you know, they are bothering you or you seeming very dismissive or standoffish. Like, ease up, buddy, okay? Untuck your chains and all, like, just please. I can't.
Ease yourself.
I can't deal with the egos, okay? So, yeah, I think unifying, for one, investing in yourself.
No question.
Investing in yourself. Can't say that enough. Invest in yourself. Everybody doesn't, no one owes you shit. You chose this career. You chose this path. So, invest in beats. Invest in visuals, invest in marketing, invest in all of that, like invest in yourself. So I think that would help because a lot of artists don't. And I also think that our media here, so like our radio stations and stuff like that, I don't think they do enough to help push or break, not even push, but just break artists. You know what I'm saying? Or break a record. Or stuff like that. Like, there's not enough unity there between the radio stations and the artists. I would say WPGC has done a lot. Tony Reyes, per se. I don't know. There's some controversy that he, you know, how he does what he does. And I don't know because I've never went through the process. But there's, regardless, visually, whatever the behind the scenes or how it happens, visually, I can see that he's doing something to try to push, quote unquote, the culture forward and letting artists come up there and play their songs and stuff like that. But I think like it should just be, I don't know the politics behind radio, and I know they can only do but so much, and they have a playlist and stuff like that. But I think that's a problem because when you go to other states or, you know, regions, the ones that we mentioned, you hear those artists being played. In Atlanta, you hear the Atlanta artists being played. Down south, you hear the down south artists being played. Out west, we hear the out west artists being played. So it's like, well, why we can't hear our, unless it's, you know, somebody who's already kind of attained some type of success, or Wale, Shaq Lizzy, a Fat Trail maybe, and I don't even really hear Trail on the radio. So
Never heard Fat Trail on the radio.
It's like it's a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to unity.
Yeah.
And what would you opine on the issue?
Well, I mean, I'm just listening, and hey, I just want to say it like this. I think it's super dope that y'all both came out here. I think that we had a chance to speak on a lot of things. Yeah, basically, I think it was just eye-opening. Maybe not to me per se, but to, I think a lot of viewers would be able to respect it and be able to understand it. And if they don't understand it, I think they would reach out to somebody who can explain it to them and help them understand it. But yeah, I mean, I think we touched on all different aspects of the culture. And, you know, right now, I just want y'all to go ahead and let the people know exactly if they want to reach out to you, how could they do so? And, you know, other than that, we gonna something to show up, but let the people know how they can get in contact with you if they wanted to reach out or interview or anything like that.
Well, so now you can find me on all social media, Carmen Kush, KarmanKush. You can go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cushion Combo, KUSHANDKONVO. And yeah, you know, I talk shit. So if you come over here, like, you gotta be ready to, like, yeah. So tread lightly, follow at your own risk, you know.
And we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crush Life.
Yeah, Crush Life King, of course. CrushLifeKing.com. I say Crush Life King. CrushLife.King. There we go. I'm smack too. CrushLife.King on everything except Facebook, because fuck Facebook. Because they out here acting felonious.
Okay.
And I know they on Instagram, but I just act like I don't know that shit. So you catch me on Instagram.
You're not for the culture.
But still fuck Facebook. And I mean,
And if you ain't for the culture, stop saying that. Don't even fucking say the shit, okay? I'm like sick of the shit because, like, please.
and if you say you woke, you're not woke.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
Because all the woke people stopped saying that a long time ago when they heard everybody else stop.
Right. Well, no question. I mean, like I said, I just appreciate y'all coming out here. This was a very, very, very good topic that I wanted to speak on. I think I had the right guests for it. And I think it's one of those things where the conversation can just be ongoing. So, now.
Invite me back on when y'all talking about fucking though. Like, that's definitely my lane. Like, hip hop is my lane too, but I just wanted to say that. Like, if y'all talking about, like.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look.
I'm just saying.
Y'all might have to come back into this when we talk on camera. But just so y'all know, I love this girl. I love Crush Life King. Hey, we're going to have many more episodes, and it's going to be fun. If y'all heard her, hey, y'all already know she's uncut and raw. So on that note, hey, we'll talk to y'all, and always remember, we all have influence opinions.
I'm rolling and blowing, fuck it, I'ma get some
I used to cop in the valley, they lob in the alley. I'm on my Vince Carter shit. Trapping in colleges, me and my partners was balling, you wasn't a part of it. My money be talking about money, your money be lying and arguing. My money can buy you a startup kit, since y'all niggas always wanna start some shit.